Thank you, Mr Deputy President. I wish to talk about an important issue affecting the real people of this state, and that is the Greens-Labor coalition against fishermen. Many of us here remember back before the last state election when we had former Minister Ian McDonald promise there wouldn't be another marine park. And what did we get? Another 2 marine parks. The Batemans and Port Stephens marine parks, we all remember, were put together by drawing lines on a map at the behest of the Greens, with next to no community consultation. Since then, this government, in an increasingly cosy coupling with the Greens, has pushed more and more sanctuary zones on our fishermen, locking up much of our prime fishing areas. The Keneally Labor government has done this with little and, in some cases, no scientific evidence. Christina Keneally has shown time and time again she has little regard for regional communities and struggling fishing families affected by these closures. I have long called for a moratorium on the creation of any more marine parks or sanctuary zones in this state. Recently, the Shooters introduced the Marine Park Amendment Moratorium Bill to the House. We all remember that in June this year, New South Wales Transport Minister and wannabe Labor leader John Robertson rose in Parliament as lead government spokesperson and stated, I quote, "We do not oppose the Marine Parks Amendment Moratorium Bill 2010 and the government provides in-principle support for this bill." In August this year, the Minister for Environment and Climate Change, Frank Sartor, also stated in a letter, and I quote, "The New South Wales government plans to improve the management of existing parks rather than establish new ones." Sartor and Robertson also inferred myself and the opposition had been scaremongers on the issue, and one stated that we couldn't be trusted. It then changed. Recently, despite these public promises from her own ministers, Christina Keneally, in what we then saw as a desperate attempt to gain Greens votes, reneged on these promises made in this very House. Mr Deputy President, but we were wrong on her motives with Green votes, because last night in the Election Funding and Disclosures Amendment Bill, Christina Keneally shook hands with the Greens in a grubby deal that will ensure a legacy of money going to New South Wales Labor and a significant increase in the funding the Greens can extract from New South Wales taxpayers. We now understand this back down on the moratorium was in fact just a dodgy deal for the Greens to support its election funding bill. The legislation was supposed to be about restoring faith, raising standards and putting the public first when it comes to politics, when it comes to the public administration and when it comes to government. Instead, New South Wales Labor and the Greens formed a sneaky and underhanded alliance designed to advantage only themselves at the cost of real reform. It's become typical of this Labor government to go back on its word. Fishermen across New South Wales will be disappointed, but probably not surprised that the shabby Keneally Labor government would rather ensure its own access to money than properly look after the interests of fishing communities or marine environments. Unfortunately, we are seeing an increasingly desperate Premier who will stop at nothing to try and resurrect her terminally broken and stale government. It's a sad day for New South Wales when we see such dodgy, self-serving ideals from not only the government but also the Greens, who are supposedly all about openness, honesty and transparency. Fishermen and regional communities deserve better than to be pawns in Keneally's chess game with the Greens. In the latest deal, the Greens got what they wanted, Labor got what they wanted, support for their bill and union money, and the fishing communities and families across the state got screwed.